they should reprompt the agent to do something, or having the agent self-correct is also very important. So if we break down the agent building framework, there are kind of 4 key buckets. We have planning, actions, knowledge retrieval, and dynamic memory, which isn't that dissimilar to how humans tackle tasks as well. First, you create your plan, then you figure out what to do, you get all the relevant info from Google and other places, and then you try to be intelligent around how you go about completing the task. Let's start with planning. So for more complicated task completion, we find that planning is often the best way to go. The most common planning technique is React, which is reason and act. And plans are valuable for 2 pretty straightforward reasons. 1, it helps an LLM on its performance. And 2, it creates a human readable checkpoint as well. So again, to that transparency point that I mentioned earlier, having a plan that you can check agent actions against is incredibly helpful. You can also hack it by manually generating plans. So if you know exactly what you want your agent to do, you can just pass in a predetermined plan as well into the context window. And you can use XML tags to separate out thinking from the final output of your model. Great, that was on planning. Any questions on planning before I move on? No? Awesome. Now let's talk about actions, so things that your models can do. There are 4 main methods that your agents can interact with the world using. So the first is a tool use API. So think about defining what tools your agents are going to be using. So for example, in the coding case, you have bash scripts and you have reading and writing to files. We also have custom output parsing, so you can be creative about the outputs from a model and then parse those. You can do direct code generation. How many of you all have used Claude.ai before? Great, and how many of you have created an artifact in Claude.ai before? This is a good example of direct code generation, where it can actually write interactable components directly into the chat, and can be a great way to fuel your agent as well. And lastly, we have the computer use API. So this is a newer thing from our team, but this allows you to remotely operate a machine using our API via screenshots and commands from a model. So when it comes to determining complexity for an action, this is also really important. Kind of a heuristic that we use is how hard would it be for a human to do the same task? A good example of this is writing code, right? If you're asked to make an improvement, it's actually harder for you to write the diff than it is to just write the improved function. And so when asking an agent to do different things, being cognizant of what would be straightforward for a human to do could be an easier way to break down your tasks. Other quick tool use steps. 1, make sure your tools are simple and they're not nested. 2, you want to use detailed descriptions. Again, we often find that this is an easy area for improvement for existing agents, so making sure you write out like a comprehensive description for the model and how it can use your tool. And we have a lot more context and resources on our docs at buildwithclaud/tooluse. Now, if you want to get a little bit fancy, you can also do multi-agent architectures where you might have a master orchestrator agent that's spinning off sub-agents to complete a task. You can delegate to faster, cheaper models. Think for things like information summarization, classification, and guardrails. Any questions on actions? Okay, let's talk about knowledge retrieval. How many of you have heard of RAG before? Okay, RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, which is when you figure out what context you want to provide to the model in any given LLM call. Traditionally, it looks a bit like this. So you have your database, and you have maybe a series of documents. You chunk your content from your database and from this unstructured data. You put it into a vector database. You run an embedding search. You fetch the relevant content from the vector database, and then you feed it into your response. So this is kind of the typical definition of what we see for RAG. However, there's a new technique when it comes to RAG that might help you out a lot if you have an agent that's fetching some kind of information, and it's called contextual retrieval. And we've seen that it can reduce incorrect chunk retrieval rates by up to 67%. So again, back to our standard RAG pipeline, you have your series of documents, your embedding model, you're putting it into a vector database, you're ranking the results for a similarity search, and you're passing that into your model context. Contextual retrieval means that you're taking these chunks that you are just slicing off of a paragraph, for example, and you're adding additional context there, generally using an LLM. So the framework for this is you're kind of studying your data before you index it. Here's an example of what contextual retrieval can look like. So let's say I have a doc of financial reports. I could pull this sentence and put it into a chunk, which is the company's revenue grew by 3% over the previous quarter. But let's say you wanted to have a sense of how the revenue is doing overall, maybe how it did in Q2. You can fit that information as additional context into a chunk. And when you run an embedded similarity search, this will lead to far better results. So again, looking at a diagram, we have the corpus of knowledge, we have our chunks, and then we have Claude running a prompt on each one of these chunks in order to give you that additional context from the original document, allowing for more informed similarity searches. Now, that can get really expensive. If you're calling an LLM for every single chunk along the way, that can rack up a lot of tokens and burn through credits. So we implemented something called prompt caching that allows you to save a lot of money on requests that look really similar. We've seen typically that for repeat context windows, we can save up to 80 or 90% on your LLM calls. So this is really helpful for agentic workflows. Again, think you're passing in your tool use definitions to every single LLM call. We can cache those tool use definitions so you're not paying full price for those tokens. And it can be really helpful in contextual retrieval. If you want docs on how to do prompt caching, just look up Anthropic docs. Prompt caching, Anthropic cookbook prompt caching if you want some GitHub samples. Again, contextual retrieval, like I outlined earlier, plus prompt caching is a powerful combination. Again, contextual retrieval can be prohibitively expensive over a large amount of text. Prompt caching allows you to cut that cost to 1/10 of what it was prior. And thanks to prompt caching, it's uniquely cost effective. It costs about $1 per million tokens. Great, so we covered planning, actions, knowledge retrieval. I'll make a quick note on dynamic memory. This is just allowing your agent to be smarter over the course of its execution. One of the things you can do is if the context window gets really long, you can summarize it and then pass it in. Another quick thing you can do is giving a model access to a scratch pad or an area where it can articulate its thoughts before giving a final answer as it works through a more complicated problem. Excellent, so that was my extremely quick, high-level overview of agents. Any questions before we get to prompting? No? Okay, let's begin. So here I'm going to go into the Anthropic console, and I want to create an agent here that's going to be summarizing news articles. And an important part of summarizing news articles is I need a really good prompt to do it. So let's work through that. If you are set up with our API, you'll already have a console account. I'm going to go here and write a prompt from scratch. So let's write my first prompt is I want to summarize a news article, and I'll define a variable. Excellent, so just adding brackets automatically put in a variable that we can now start to test. So I'm going to run here. And here is where I paste my article, but I'm giving a live demo. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm just going to ask Claude to generate an article for the sake of example. Excellent, and we see a bogus article here on the right-hand side, generated by Claude, but good enough to start testing out our prompt. So we have our test case, that's great, and then I can go here and run it. So we have our prompt, we have our summary, and we have our eval. So here I'm now testing against this fake article. I'm testing this prompt to summarize the article. So here's the response. It looks pretty good. For me, it's a bit long. I want to have a fun demo, so I kind of want to add a few emojis too. Using the workbench, we can actually improve that prompt here as well. So I'm going to go to the button that says Improve Prompt, and you guessed it, I'm going to talk to Claude about how I can make my prompt better. So I'm going to ask it to have a shorter response and to add a few emojis, and then we'll see what it does.
Yes, we say please to AI, just so it doesn't get aggressive later on.
You got to be nice. Excellent. So quick context on the console. This is a tool that we use internally at Anthropic almost every day. And so this has been developed in tandem with our research team, our applied AI team, our product team. All of their feedback and notes go into creating the best prompt tool that we can. So again, as you're going about building your agents, regardless as to whether or not you're using Sonnet, this can be a really helpful way to just start iterating through those prompts and testing them. So here you see this multi-step process. Again, I created a plan, simple prompt, similar to what I talked about earlier. And we got ourselves an updated prompt here that we can use. So I'm going to open this in Workbench, and we'll see this updated prompt over here. So now I'm going to go from prompt to evaluate, and I can compare the outputs of my two prompts. So my V1 prompt, can we have the not so fun no emojis summary, and now I have my V2 prompt that I'm going to run over this article. You can also score here, so I'm going to score this with fair. This is fine. And then here we have a thinking step from the model at this top, and a nice summary within the summary tags that we can surface to users and has a decent amount of emojis. So I'm going to give that a 5. Now, a critical thing is getting a lot of test cases. So again, what we'd recommend in the prompt creation flow is to develop your test cases before you even develop your prompt. This is really important. Have a good sense of, okay, if I feed an article, what does a good summary look like? Develop your test cases. You want to create your preliminary prompt, and then you're basically going to be iterating this prompt against those test cases. And the Workbench can be a really good way to do so. After you do that, you're going to be testing against some held out evals, so additional testing data, and then you'll be able to ship your polished prompt. So this tool and these evaluations are really about that. So let's generate some more test cases, because again, it's a live demo, a few more articles. And once we have these all generated, then we can run our prompts on these to figure out the relative power of the model. So again, this process just helps you a lot in terms of improving your prompts at every single step along the way. Key part about agents is having intelligent prompts and tool use calling. The prompt improver is going to be the best way to do that. Great, and we see, again, a nice emoji-full summary. Same deal down here. So that's a little bit of our Workbench demo. Any questions on prompting? Great, straightforward. Cool, now I want to talk about resources. Again, if you're building an agent, which I'm guessing all of you are here today, would highly recommend checking out the Workbench. Again, independent of whether or not using Sonnet. It's a great place to try out your prompts. You should check out our docs, which I'll do a quick demo of in a second. But the cool part about our docs is that these are also powered by Claude. So our docs can actually write you code samples, and our docs are going to be a lot smarter than I am in answering a lot of your technical questions. So again, I would direct all of you to go to docs.anthropic.com. And in terms of working with us, please follow us on X/Twitter. Again, chat with our docs, it'll give you better answers and get code snippets and samples that you can use. And if you want to chat after the hackathon, we spun up this email, just hackathon plus Coinbase at anthropic.com if you want to get in touch with our team. Reach out if you have any questions. And thank you all. Great, any Q&A? Kevin?
Yes, what are you most excited for at Anthropic in terms of use cases, people building on your product? What have you seen that's been really interesting so far?
I think for us, like we really prioritize having state-of-the-art models, and I think that's what we spend a lot of our time on. Agents are a big use case for state-of-the-art models, and so I think for us, powering really powerful agents down the line is our goal. We've done that with a lot of coding products you probably are all using here today, and we hope to do that in other industries and verticals as well. But I think agents, in terms of what I'm most excited about, are definitely a key thing. Yep.
I noticed that the workflow of the workbench is a lot like a reinforcement learning step to fine-tune the last output of the StoreNet. And I'm just wondering, like, what is the final thing you store when I create an agent? And like, are those like caches we're talking about, the key value caches, or some other, or is just another big prompt that you store for my specification? Like, what is the exact thing you store for my workbench for the things that I fine-tune? That something you can say?
Yeah, I mean, if you're creating an agent, again, you can think of an agent as a series of prompts that you're using. So maybe you fetch a news article and you're reading a news article as a prompt. You can think of the workbench and the prompt improver as a way to optimize your prompts for each one of those steps. Even for tool use, you could figure out how do I want to describe a tool using the prompt improver as well. But I think of this as like a module or a string that you're going to end up plugging into your code and your agent that is going to run then and ideally make it more performant. But this tool is a way, even before, to just test out your prompt really quickly against the model before having to do it manually yourself. Yep.
Curious to ask more about the prompt testing process, right? So you were suggesting actually before doing anything else, you're starting by generating ideal test cases.
Yep.
Which feels to me like test-driven development of non-AI software. Do those test cases need to be developed by hand? And then, like, you were saying comparing, right? Does that also have to be done by hand, or can that be automated to some extent? I'm curious what that looks like.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing and how important and structured your outputs are. So let's say you're asking Sonnet to give a one-word response, then you can run a more quantitative eval. Let's say it's a bit more subjective, it's a summary. Maybe you're going through and labeling with those numbers that I showed earlier. It really depends. And again, for us, like, we just encourage people to create evals relevant for their specific use case, which is why for any kind of prompt engineering, first thing to do is just have a good sense of what you want, which is what that test step forces you to do. Yeah.
Curious if you'd be willing to share any best practices on XML tags. I personally found a huge unlock with utilization, but it's been a bit like luck and trial and error.
Yep.
So just curious if that's something that you all spend a lot of time thinking about.
Again, the best person to ask for that are going to be our docs for XML tags. So I'd ask there around how we're setting up the thinking steps and the summaries there.
I saw you use the prompt improvement tool for like an article. Do you also find it helpful when like prompting in like a Replit, AI agent, or a Cursor IDE?
The way you can think about it is, I mean, Cursor and Replit are going to help you write your code at the end of the day. But your code, let's say it's agentive code, is going to have prompts that it's going to use when it calls an LLM. And so for those prompts that are within your application, you're going to want to have some kind of iterative process on that. Now you could use, Sonnet 3.5 within Cursor to do a first quick pass of what a prompt could look like. But again, what we found is that this more iterative approach that's more test-driven just allows you to get better prompts. And one of the easiest things you can do for better agent development is just have better prompts. Like keeping it simple with great prompts we found is often the way to solve a lot of issues around agents and agent success rates. Yep.
What's an AI agent?
So again, we defined it at the start, but the way you can think about it is it's an autonomous program where its logic is being defined by an LLM as it goes. So you could think of a article summarization agent as, hey, here's a list of articles, can you go summarize these? You'd tell the agent, cool, you can read from a Google Sheet. It goes and fetches from a Google Sheet. You'd say, great, now for each one of these, I want you to summarize, and it's calling an LLM that way. But it's this iterative tool calling and kind of step-by-step LLM call architecture that we would call an agent. Yep.
What vertical AI agents are you most excited about?
We love all AI agents, and so no strong preference.
I'd love to hear more about like the cost thinking that went behind making the prompt improver. Like what was, I guess, like the output you wanted out of people using that? And do you charge for it currently? Like, is it geared more towards people who are like developing on an individual level? Is it geared towards enterprise?
It works for both. So it's completely free to use. Like again, you could just log into the console and start using it today. It will use your API credits, so you'll have to pay for those Sonic calls, but that's about it. And for us, it works for hobby developers or hackathons, and it works for enterprises as well. Like we use it internally all the time for different agent work and workflows that we're doing.
Is there a reason why you like show all the kind of like thinking process that comes before like the final output is given for the prompt improvement?
Again, that's sort of the scratchpad dynamic memory thing that I talked about earlier. Like that's just a way that we found can lead to higher performance if you're looking at summarization tasks, for example. But again, the prompt improver knows all of this. So if you just tell the prompt improver, I want to move in this direction, it'll set up the prompt in such a way that, again, those XML tags are even like taken care of. Again, all we'd have to do there is just pick out the summary XML tags and we'd be good to go.
You mentioned the tool use, like the computer use API. Is that something that's available publicly? And then additionally, do you have any suggestions or would you direct us anywhere in terms of, I guess, design choices or optimization for task-based versus autonomous agents?
How would you define task-based versus autonomous agents?
I guess, it might be kind of hierarchical in that sense of like the multi-agent sense of like the task-based, I guess, are prompted to complete a task, whereas the autonomous are kind of executing the tasks that need to be done to achieve whatever they've been in a more open-ended kind of goal-seeking sense.
Yeah.
Like I think it's hierarchical essentially.
Okay, I mean for sub-agents, it's something that we support as well, and it depends on what kind of architecture you want to use. I think we've often found in agent implementation, it's just often the simplest solution that you can come up with, which is often just a straightforward agent that's chaining LLM calls, will solve most of your problems. But you can always do this parallelized approach of spinning up sub-agents to do tasks. It's really dependent on what it is you're trying to do and what those the dependencies between those subtasks. Again, so for this summarizer agent that we put together, you probably could not parallelize it because step 2 requires that you have already fetched the article content from Google Sheets. But if you were trying to summarize 50 at the same time, then you could do some kind of parallelized approach where you spin up 50 sub-agents, each summarizing, because those are independent tasks, and then those bring their responses back to the master agent. But again, high level, we just recommend people keep it simple. On the tool use API, that is available, I believe, on our site, so you can use it there. Other questions? Okay, well, thank you all for making the time. Best of luck coding agents. And again, feel free to email Coinbase/Hackathon if you guys have any questions or there are ways that we can support.
Thank you to Sean. I think we're going to break after this for lunch. Again, all the workshops
Sean.
for today are detailed in the image that was sent in the Telegram group. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks for the presentation. Can I film something really quick with you?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so just...
Yeah, I'll just ask him in advance. Can I have lunch with you? Can we eat lunch together?
Yeah, sure. Happy to get lunch.
Okay.
Okay, I just see 2 seats, so can you go back to the Q&A slide where you're like, does anyone have any questions?
And by the way, Sean Strach is like a content creator, and so she's going to chop up some of the agent stuff. She's going to do something where she's like, what's the AI agent, you know, and do something funny.
Yeah, I
and
just
stuff.
see my ending scene. So wait, can you get the last and say, does anyone have any questions? I just need a
You guys want to just take a step back for
I just need a scene with this. It'll be very quick. Okay, wait, let me just get... Don't worry, it'll be funny. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. I just need one scene where you're like, okay, where you're like, does anyone have any questions?
Does anybody see this? Does anybody have any questions?
So we create like driver safety software, but for like large organizations.
Okay, so basically I'm gonna ask you a question and then I need you to, as a can I compare you, I need you to the most dead
So you live in New York?
Yeah, I live in Rome.
Oh, yeah. We'll probably need to run a lot of these by the comms team on our end before anything goes live. But it's like, I was gonna say, LA is.
And we want to keep everything like, it's going to be positive. Yeah.
Okay. Or what's like, I just feel like a funny reaction. It's like, you just be your friends with your parents and I'm like, wait, so what's it you actually did? And you're like, we just be like,
You've been there for a while.
just like, be like,
It's totally up to you.
Okay.
just like whatever like a
Let's do it.
deadpan reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where were you? Like,
Okay.
wait, maybe I'll like have this slide up. Oh, I can see. That's amazing.
Wait,
That's so
what?
funny.
That's crazy. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Maybe just like look at it. Maybe just look and blink. Just
Okay,
be like look and blink.
That was in 12 too.
And don't say anything. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
or like pended anything.
Quite right. Yeah. And
Wait, what's an
actually-
AI agent?
Yes, actually the first kind of blockchain conference I went to that one, it was like 18, I want to say. Probably around the time that like.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Excellent. Yeah.
Two questions. One is just a procedural thing. I didn't get that in time.
Hey, Nani, nice to see you. How was your trip in?
That's why we asked for
Normally we have an amazing view. Right here you can only see the Bays Ridge, and it's like this beautiful view. But
it's our team that just feel like there's a
I'm building.
Actually just started.
I'm doing really well. Yeah, it's been good. I think it's been really hot so far. And
And we have an agent called Hackathon that is very supplies and just wanted to connect with somebody in your
Kevin, right?
Yes.
Just wanted to say thanks for
Hey,
organizing
Carl,
everything.
thank you. Yeah, really nice to meet you.
You're one of the organizers here, right?
Yes, I'm the organizer.
All right. I guess I'll be looking for you after lunch because I'm on. Are you? How long have you been in the crypto field?
I've been in the crypto field since like 2014.
Perfect.
So, yeah, I was at storage and decentralized object storage. So I've been in the space for a while.
Because like, you've been here 14 years. I've been here for a week.
Yeah.
I got my first coin last week, and so that's why I want to build something that helps
Nice.
fellow beginners.
Are you a
start.
developer? Or?
I am a product designer turned developer.
Okay.
I'm an incoming intern at Dell.
Cool.
And I'd love to ask you a few questions later on like what you'd wish you'd had when you first started.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you a heads up and just wanted to say nice to meet you.
Yeah,
and thanks
sounds
for
good.
the constant comms.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Great to meet you as well.
So we can say all the data planning is an encrypted data. And then we use Cloud for like the contextual like groups, like using it in a haiku model to help boost the context first and encrypt this. And then allow it something like you can remote host the database and allow people to send encrypted queries again. So we
Yeah, we have the whole
yeah, I mean, over.
I think it's pretty much like, if you want to like use
I'm trying to say that we don't have to focus on nobody anymore because like the data we can write the database for you, but you have to secret
the other thing is something that will work. And then now technically you can roll it back, it won't work to where the rollback button is. So that's like a little tricky thing, but I mean these are just small little like bumps in the road.
So it's up to you in terms of you want it here, but you're using the right to do it.
Got it.
And so what is he working on?
I'm working on I see it's like KOL.
I really like their why KOL, I guess. It's a fine-tuned blockchain.
Perfect.
She has like 35K followers on Twitter. We just finished building our GitHub app, so you can just. Are you working with someone? Yeah. It's one of our developers. Yeah, the guy who used to work at Twitter.
Oh, nice to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I made it in. I texted the guy and I was like, yo, I've like done these hackathons before, and they're like, yeah, come on, do it.
Easy as that. So, hope you make something with more anime girls as a final demo.
Maybe I'll pull the same pick again. Yeah, we're trying to get credits for this guy.
Cool, yeah.
What are you working on?
An assignment from school, then I start working on the stuff I want to work on. I'm doing user interviews right now just for people, just to get an idea of what I want to work on. But I think I'll start building tomorrow. What? Oh, right, the game stuff. All right, cool.
very back corner. Yeah. So I'll come over there.
In the more like complex.
What's your name?
Alberta.
Alberta.
Where are you from? Born in Cali, we've been raised in Florida.
Nice. Bi-coastal. And bi-coastal and Gulf of America.
Yeah. I can't handle cold weather, so like
manager, like for the
just watching. I like playing basketball on that server. Yeah, I was like, to be fair, I was gonna start sprinting, so I like went like this, and then my Achilles just popped. Stretch, warmed up, you can play 2 games of basketball, and after the game, I was like, okay, let me do this, and I like went, and then I went like this. Oh my god, I'm like cracking up. Suicide? I mean, I get it. You use it, and then you have your sticky server and that way you can rupture Achilles or like hard bad luck. Yeah, the thing that they explain is like basically normally your brain limits. Yeah, well, I mean, again, you guys only follow us through all like but I mean, thanks for contributing to the
I also like running MCQ. Definitely
they just
to get there without like providing injury, like that's part of the skill. You don't want to be like roughing up the dog. Part of it. Most of the time I'd say, give me a shot.
I got to pick up later. I found out last night. I was another hackathon. Yeah, because they're like, are you going to come? Yes. They have more hackathons. But yeah, so like in terms of creating a online, it's like trading in these people but kind of like, and they're like risk management, whatever. That's on track. Like I didn't think that. I know there's coffee buys like, wait, is that ethical? And I'm like, hey, it's on the price. You can ask five. So I was looking if you have slides and also like
in terms of credits, you just need those takes them out. You give it information, but first, it's something we want to bring on the name.
It's a good name. Good for a startup.
Thanks so much. Happy hacking group chat. Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, just in the space in general, like what we're doing is building solar powered data centers that we by water.
Okay, great.
This is Jordy. Hi, Jody. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Indonesia, and then we have Isaac. One of the things we're trying to figure out is how to just shot your repo. Yeah, okay. So what is future value? Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think that there's going to be something like payment flow, and if people don't have to remain the wheels, already. But what are you working on? Like, so just explaining that, like, longer term, I think that there's value in getting that like data creation all the way to engaging model. Who haven't really like have their data.
So we already have like a working
aggregated before.
I don't know if you did dogs.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very long-term view, obviously, but
And then
one of the things that you're trying to
We're in the process of like
think through, just like how to that's how you create a better experience.
So I asked what was the target group for this whole thing? It's like everything. Then it's extremely hard. Like you're not going to name it. It's impossible.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it. We keep saying all the time.
So just like thinking
You go there and say like, okay, let me tell you about non-fungible assets, fungible assets, how to create your assets. It's like, well, I don't know, for example, I work on payments.
Yeah.
I don't care about
If it would be helpful, is kind of the question.
So you're not going to solve that.
I'm not on the trading team, so I'm not the best person to ask in terms of whether or not it would be valuable, and if so, to what extent. Again, if you want to follow up, again, Hackathon plus Coinbase, I do credit directed to the right person. But I think high level, like, if you're pitching it to a VC, I think it's a bit of a harder ask on the like selling data. There aren't that many companies that scale, but like scales
kind of networks for testing.
selling like a lot of data that is across the board, and they're hiring like the kinds of data that they're selling are like computer science PhDs, like really important in coding classes. And so it's just the value. I would just look at how those existing data companies are generating revenue, and then you can it up for yours. But if you're not selling it today, it might be hard to pitch for an investor.
For example,
I'd say if you're trying to pitch what you have though to an investor, that's also that's super cool. I would just say like, hey, okay, there are X 100 million people that can use this product, and you can make $1 per month, and there each one of these a profit, and that's $100 million of revenue, and we're looking at a $10 billion market opportunity. That's how I pitch to an investor in terms of like, hey, I have this thing today that's being used, and I'm getting paid for it in some sense. I think it's a more straightforward ask, as opposed to having me believe that one, you're going to set that up, and then two, you're going to get a sufficient amount of data to go and compete with scale.
Sorry, no, please go. Last question. So the last question is around like you mentioned scale. Like one of the things is like probably nice or whatever, but just at a high level, I think that there's an opportunity as well in these markets.
And if I come up with more stuff,
and this is where I think crypto is.
I can do like a Christmas solution.
Let me push my comment.
Do you want to telegram?
Yeah.
Just drop that.
Like
you guys to the group.
Is that something that?
Yeah, send us the Christmas wish list.
Again, because to us, like 3 cents or 5 cents or 10 cents, whatever it is.
Cameron, do we have a group for this event?
East Africa or even Jamaica, that's like
We should, because that was like
whatever.
on the way in this morning. I was like,
Can buy water or whatever with that. So
I didn't know you were.
I'm just now.
We actually don't need to use scale.
Oh, gotcha.
Fair enough. I just want to bring it up as like if you're pitching a VC, VCs are thinking about scale. Big companies, they'll equate you. Otherwise known as SFSF.
You good with everything?
Talking to scale is going to be so if I find anyone here like think around, okay, how are they doing data contracting? That's going to be for you guys to figure out in terms of like,
And the last thing,
I
am not a Web3
as far as I know, there's all like info, like they already do some stuff like that.
I only know like about Bitcoin and like network. I've been focused on like that. The UTXO model I understand, but the smart contract model I don't understand. And then I go to New York thinking like, okay, so this is going to be.
So there's a web
based
company.
and it doesn't. No. You have this like you have this accounting thing. You know, it's much easier. And it's true that it's much easier, but if it was the first time, different things are going to just disappear. If I already come with a Coinbase mental model or Ethereum mental model, and you see that one, it's easier.
I studied the story of scale from when they started. I think they started on like Mechanical Turk, and then ended up studying on a bit like function for a lot of people. I'm a snowboarder, and I'm trying to learn to ski, and it's even harder than starting from scratch. So I'll learn everything before you start from scratch.
That's the best thing that you can put on the beginning of the documentation.
Yeah. Forget everything you know.
This doesn't work like X.
What's the best way to learn that though? Like just check the docs, because we do have like an account model description.
Yes.
What is it?
Trust them.
Forget everything you know.
And when you're starting, the least like
We should have ChatGPT open it. I gotta pull it.
I'm starving.
No support.
It's all good. It's a great company.
I think it should be like a 30
Find a user and to pay. But like essentially not like it started in 60%.
I'm not looking for nothing.
how does he work?
Better description.
And it's important, the abstract.
The modern term?
Yeah, like I don't care if I'm the report like, well, actually, it's just conceptual, like that, because I mean, like,
I think in Semi you get like a secret agent, right? Which is like a person who's spying.
I will say, elite never. No, I'm watching her in action. I'm like,
Make a question, you make the conversation
The concept of analyzer that can parse information from your criminal work. This didn't really exist 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And so I think agent is the best term that
I learned about her at I watched it.
like more or less. It's the term that's used to describe the autonomous system. And so that's how I like think about it in the context of this. I don't know the full historical context, and it's certainly possible that prior definitions are overwritten in the same way that like you see with other tech evolutions over time. Yes. Yeah. So I think agents just got kind of right. Yeah, I think it's the best term that people have found to describe it, but understanding there's a lot of
with like urea and
Yeah, so I'm also just wondering, is there something that is, I guess, working on like kind of the multilingual aspect of agentic computing with your team, or is there a point, like that's one of the areas that I'm, like the kind of agent that I'm building is kind of utilizing like a lot of the voice-to-voice in that like capability in that space.
Yeah.
So that's an area I'm looking at, like, I guess, for partners or connectivity.
Yeah, Sonnet can work for a lot of different languages. So
Yeah, I mean that's like literally what I'm
Yeah.
using already, but just like as kind of like a use case and building out, and then also in terms of chaining together with other LLMs, like I'm not sure if you know like Falcon is the English language model, but from UAE, but Noor is the Arabic. Like so, there's a lot of LLM development coming out of Abu Dhabi specifically. So that's just kind of one thought is like I'm looking for, I guess, specifically find people in the multilingual area. And then also just on this, why I asked the task-based and autonomous thing. So Universitas AI, what we've set up, we're like kind of partnering out of this academic ecosystem is we're working with MIT on a working group on agent-to-agent kind of protocols and trying to like, I guess, create advisory kind of recommendations, nomenclature, and standards. But we're like using this kind of standard of lowercase a for autonomous agents, in that like again that kind of hierarchical kind of categorization, and then like a capital A for truly autonomous agents, and then looking at those permutations of like the various iterations of A-to-A communications. So again, like if that's something that resonates with specific people that are working on similar types of things with multi-agent systems.
Internally, yeah. Again, that's going to be the best way to get in touch with the team there. I'm not going to be the best person to ask for that. I think the only equipment I'll have in multilingual stuff is I think it was just an emergent capability to models. As you add more parameters, you need more data added, they learn how to translate, which is like kind of interesting. And I think they'll probably see more of that over time. It's just an emergent capability from these state-of-the-art models.
Yeah. So I spent like a lot of years in the Middle East specifically. So Arabic is kind of my wheelhouse specifically, but there are some native like Arabic LLMs. So that's what I'm looking at. Like this is just like a sample from our app. I'm looking at like the Arabic versus English, like putting that in an accessible way to navigate for the user. So like the language student or the traveler or the government bureaucrat who needs to translate something, has access.
Yeah, and some agents are a great way to do that then. I mean, if you find that the base model is doing what you want, then you can even just process the response in English and then pass it to another LLM for translation or another service, and then parse that response and show it to the user. But yeah, again, awesome. Feel free to email there. We can make sure the right people internally. Okay, thanks. Hey, Michael. Nice to meet you. Jared, nice to meet you. So are you guys a team? Awesome.
Yeah, we're from.
Oh, awesome. Do you know Richard Muirhead?
Yeah, he was
a friend of mine. Yeah.
Founded by those series and just from the co-authors of the Texture Volume. So we're different. Yeah, you have to take like consideration, or you can use the same configuration.
Anyway, we focus on
I mean, they're different data sets, but I'm not doing the fine tuning. So what I'm doing is like, I guess looking at different foundation model providers like Claude, Anthropic, or the ones I mentioned were two specific different ones from another developer. So those are their considerations.
Small stage startups,
Kind of
VCs,
connective space,
like
because
yourselves,
he was just saying,
scaled programs, doing hackathons. Like, feel free to just send over more information to the hackathon address, and then we can make sure it gets triaged to the right person.
Their quality isn't as good.
Are you guys hacking as well, or sponsored?
Models have been trained on Arabic.
Yeah,
but they have kind of like this
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of ancillary. It wasn't designed for that primarily.
What are broadly speaking, is this in your priorities?
Startups, yeah, it's a language. It's a broad mandate. Yeah, it kind of all boils down to just market usage or penetration, and so that's not making that return usable, like evaluated.
Yeah,
there are a lot of subcomponents.
You're also your goal is also
different. That's what our team's mandate is.
Okay, awesome. Very good to meet you. Yeah, this is an example I was showing him. So this is just like
we haven't so far.
So
our team's also
relatively
small, like partnerships.
So this is our multilingual chat interface.
All kinds of partnerships, like
support
cloud providers as well.
voice
We have
to
about
voice
8
and
people
voice languages.
So it's pretty small.
And
it's
this
been
is
a
actually
colony that
just
primarily focused on startups.
for
Yeah,
your
it's. I think for us, we've had a broader mandate, but if it needs to be for voices, we'll probably shift it.
right? But so we have.
Well, we'd love to explore what we could do together. I'll shoot you an email over there.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'm like Laura Hayes Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there would be a lot of stuff coming up in March.
So if
Well, you guys need anything specifically for around NVIDIA conference?
Yeah, so now
We probably are. I feel like my aperture is like 2 weeks in advance. So we're doing some stuff in like London and Paris in 2 weeks, which should be fun. Yeah, but we may be back in time for the NVIDIA conference.
So just to help the person
Thanks for making the time. Yeah, and feel free to send more information to that address, and we'll get it around to the Thank you.
And then also have
Here to say that to my mom.
Oh, no way. Okay. What a small world. That's smart, dude. Okay. Yeah.
Are you guys all here? Or
Are you graduating?
Yeah, I'm working at OnChain.
Oh, okay, great. Nice to meet you. Okay, so we love you guys too. Keep
So
how long have you been there?
What's really cool
like
is
7 months
that
now.
what's
Connect to like
space this
It's
one.
fast moving.
This is
fun.
called
Yeah, a lot of
she's
stuff
able
to react to.
to all this.
How is monetization going to be like German language?
So far, pretty good.
Better? Yeah.
Set up to the right for the observability. Everybody wants observability.
Like Smith makes sense. Yeah.
You know, but using this to kind of mediate for
Explain
all
what's
of
going on. So,
yeah, you're a Korean
yeah, I think
person
we still
and
need
you're
to
learning
practice
Russian, you know, so we have like, that's kind of like what this tool is about, is like that Swiss Army knife capability.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and like figuring out evals there for images, video, all that.
Everything is,
Yeah. You've been liking the team. Are you hacking or just supporting?
Yeah, I'm hacking.
Okay.
accessible and affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A voice to
So just
voice.
wanted to stop by, say hi,
So that
best
it's
regards from my mom.
Think of it,
Thank
you
you so
have
much
to
for
Likewise. Hi tomorrow. See you in a bit. Yeah.
Say hi, Sean. How's it going?
Well,
Yeah, I think great presentation.
languages, right?
A lot of like super ways, like particularly in using.
Oh yeah, definitely use prompt caching if you want to save money. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to save money. It pays my paycheck. Bonus for you guys. Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah. We're telling you for a reason.
Yeah. So so far like we was using like AI.
Yeah.
Now we're building our own multi-model orchestration. Very to combine like say several models and like bring them all together and make them more like tree-centric.
Yeah.
And we weren't using prompt caching, and that probably explains why our
Costs may have been a bit high.
Yeah. Bills are like incredibly high, like at least about like $400 a month.
Yeah.
Sorry, a day.
Yeah.
And I was just like keen to sort of connect and see like because we're also like leveraging Claude now.
Yeah.
So our multi-model play includes like OpenAI, Claude, and also Llama. And then we're training it on like Web3 data as well as our user prompts that we
Are you guys building a model, like a router, like a classifier that'll take in data and then figure out what model to send it to?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But we haven't made like a lot of progress there. Okay, so somewhere we were just thinking that maybe we could have like a detailed chat and I could like plug in our CTO and rest of our team and
Yeah, I mean, feel free to ping us at Hackathon Plus. That'll be the best way to get in touch with our team. And I'd say, generally on the model router front, like we've seen a bunch of different companies come out there. So I'm sure you guys are aware of like OpenRouter and like some of the other ones that are more like open source frameworks for routing LLM calls. But yeah, I mean, feel free to send over more info, and we can see if we can find the right team internally for you guys to chat with.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious, like, do you have those specific Web3 team for like dev relations at Anthropic? By any
We do not
chance?
have a Web3 type, but like we don't have any industry specific.
Oh, you don't have like healthcare?
No, it's a horizontal team. Yeah.
Okay.
We meaning which department?
We as an Anthropic.
Anthropic.
Yeah, as an
Anthropic overall.
company.
Overall.
Yeah. On the go-to-market side, we'll have a bit more specialization if we're selling Cloud for Work, which is a different product. But in terms of how we engage with developers, it's a pretty horizontal.
What was your path to Anthropic?
I was a 2-time founder and investor. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So like invested in early stage companies.
What made you go back to being an operator?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to get paid to judge people, so like being an investor is fun. I think for me, I mean, I love building stuff, I love supporting people building stuff, and I think as an investor it's a bit tough because 90-95% of the companies you see you won't be able to support, and it's a bit of an awkward combo where you're not giving them money. This is great because we can support everyone and anyone who wants to use us.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what's the best way to reach you? Are you on Telegram and all?
Hackathon plus Coinbase is going to be the best way to get in touch.
There was one slide I missed. There was like this one, and then there was the one in between the chat. Yeah.
Oh, the 4 of a slide?
Yeah. I couldn't.
Oh yeah, sure.
I couldn't take a screenshot fast enough.
You're all good. I think it's on Twitter. So you
Oh,
can
it
also,
is.
You can also find these on Twitter. Not by us.
Like
but
on
it's-
Twitter, like these slides on Twitter.
These slides. Yeah.
this
No,
one?
not the images you can find.
Oh, the images.
Yeah. I was more just bringing it up as like people are running the Minecraft test as a way to evaluate
The visual
which is kind of fun.
You put together this deck, right?
Yeah, or team. Yeah.
It's helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Great presentation.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Great to see you as well.
Yeah. And you'll.
Hey.
Yeah.
You want to bring some water?
I'll get some in a second. Yeah. Let me log off.
This is how it feels to be a celebrity, huh?
Yeah. No, just want to help out. Do you guys know where the lunch is?
I think it's 101.
Yeah, they are. Okay, is there still lunch available? Okay, great. Right at the start.
Yeah, right.
Okay, great. Well, we'll check it out.
Cool.
Are you going to be around in the afternoon?
I will be around for lunch, and then I need to head out, unfortunately. Okay.
Is it chill if we have our lunch in an office?
Yeah, we can have the lunch here. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's a semi-personal thing, but it's just something I wanted to send over to the Anthropic team as well, that I just have to say in person, so. I'll grab lunch with you, I'll make sure you catch your breath and saliva, and then I can start talking. Thanks, by the way.
No problem. Yeah, hope it was helpful. Do you have a question or a way I can unlock? Yes.
Is this filled? Someone in here? Damn.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is. I think I grabbed the last burrito, and I'm sorry for that, but I haven't eaten in 8 hours. Wait, 18 hours. There are organizers around. I'm pretty sure they're going to order more food. Like, make a bet at like 99%. Half a line? No, it's all good.
They ran out of burrito. Here you go, I got you water. In case. Alright. But yeah, is it chill if you head back over there in a bit? How much time do you have?
Probably about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. Let's have a few quick questions. And I found an empty room, so no rush though. All right. Whoop, 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 whoop. Do you do these talks a lot?
This is my first one, actually.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks.
Would you go for another one after the volume of people and the random guy who decided to ask you lunch happens?
That's great.
You can go head over there. It'll be quick, so.
This is why I took this job.
I'm glad. And you know, just to keep it straight to the point, remember when you asked I wanted a student founder, are you a student founder or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so first off, quick question. Is this the amount of balance you gave us for the hackathon?
Yes.
$100? Okay, perfect. And second, I just really want to ask you to help send a message, which is I am very grateful for the Anthropic team because I've been my name is Carl, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Of course.
I'm a junior at Minerva. We go to a different country every semester.
I know Minerva. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's amazing.
My friend Heyu did it.
Heyu?
Yeah, she's like an investor now. But anyways.
Cool. Okay, I'm a
She's
junior.
one of the early classes.
Okay. I've been a product designer my whole life, but last summer I finally got into software engineering.
Great.
And you know how I did that? I went on Anthropic, and then 6 months ago, just really asked it to like, hey, can you help me build this thing from start to finish? From like opening VS Code to actually learning what syntax to use in Python and deploy in Google Cloud.
Yeah.
And so one thing led to another, and I participated in Google's AI, Google for Developers AI thing, which is scholarships for Filipinos, because it's a scholarship that got me to, believe it or not, Times Square, courtesy of Webflow.
Great.
And so, yeah, how can we help you?
We're just chatting real quick for like 5-10.
Quick question.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, what from your presentation, like what slides from your presentation were like the most important thing? Because basically I have like 20 minutes of footage, but I need to like chop it up into like a 1 minute video.
Can I get back to you on that after this?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So the impact of scholarships, they're amazing. And so I built a product to help Filipinos like myself and other dreamers get into scholarships. And a lot of things happened. I was really gonna geek out about the architecture because, oh no, VS Code closed. Because what you said about the improved prompt thing, it's what I used to basically power the essay scholarship thing. Okay, there's a bunch of features here, but it's just like multilingual onboarding, achievement tracking, lots of like, speak your essay, just keep yapping, and then the AI will organize everything for you. So I'm glad that Anthropic's using that now. And just as a really quick side note, if you want, I found a document, like, what did you use for like the prompt improvement? Like, what kind of template did you use? Because there's a 45-page guide by Google, and if the team wants to have that, I could gladly send it over.
I think we have our own guide internally. Like for the prompt improver, I think we have a whole team dedicated to the workbench.
Perfect.
Like, optimizing prompts there.
Okay, thank you. But so I did that for the 6 months, worked on a project for a full month because of Google thing, and guess what happened? Boom, 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 boom. 22,000 participants and 1,200 projects later, and I won.
Wow, it's huge.
It's been great, and the reason why I really pulled you in here and had you listen to my mini story was because the whole student plus founder thing is something I want to get into.
Yeah.
And you being an investor, I've honestly just been the guy who builds, who designs, and can sometimes pitch a bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, like, number one, how, okay, this is a very vague question, but like, in which resources would you point me towards in regards to like becoming a successful founder?
Yeah.
Because one thing that I did now is I actually got an invitation to a conference from the Department of Trade of the U.S. government in Mexico, just to like network and really learn how to build a startup. And I don't know, I guess just having a sort of mini mentor relationship with you, especially since I'm going to be graduating on my 4th year, and in Minerva we do have
right now?
3rd year.
Okay.
So in Minerva we do have a capstone. So I was thinking if there's also someone from the Anthropic team who I could have a little coffee chat with, just so I could fully flesh out the idea I'm going to build with, and maybe even align it to something that Anthropic's been wanting to build but doesn't necessarily have the time or people or resources to even do it. So like the ask here is like, what is something that if you had the time or like resources could be under the name of Anthropic or not, would you be willing to like want to build, and like we could like iteratively build it, it's not a big commitment bi-weekly, to just like get a quick feedback. Basically I work for free.
Yeah.
So like we could have I could have present something to my university, because I'm struggling on like picking the right project, hence the hackathon attendance, and just get the ground up and hopefully just learn a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to ask from you. Number one, there's 2 things. Number one was just a quick direction to resources as a beginner founder, because 2-time founder, that must be a lot of things, sleepless nights and everything. And second is like maybe a potential coffee chat with Anthropic for like my capstone and academic pursuits. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, happy to chat. I mean, it seems like
there's a lot going on. Sorry, just trying to maximize.
You're good. There's time with team. There's trying to figure out how you plug into roadmap or things that you could pick up. There's and then like just general kind of founder advice, right? Is that kind of
yes? Thank you so much. See, that's the prompt. You're using a prompt to improve my input. It's been a long one.
Yeah, maybe going back to front. The Bible for a lot of startup stuff is 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel.
0 to 1, never heard of it.
It's a very good book.
Please let me not this.
It's very controversial. He's a controversial dude, but it's a good book.
Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So I'd read that one.
Thank you.
Read it again after that. And I think most of my startup advice you just follow from that book.
Cool. That is perfect. That's what I was looking for. So thank you so much.
So I think that's what and I mean the TLDR is like you just need to find something that's going to grow really fast. Is going to be worth over $1 billion if you want venture, and then you need to be the best in the world at it. And so you could have the right idea, it could theoretically be worth over $1 billion, but then you need to convince investors that you are the best person in the world to do it. And all of those are important criteria if you're pitching for money.
Right.
So I'd say that's on the investment side. And if you want other advice there, feel free to ping me async.
Yes.
I think in terms of chatting with the team and roadmap we typically don't share that publicly on things we need help with. Mm-hmm. In terms of team time, we're a relatively small team based on what we're doing,
for real?
and so we're all pretty slammed on our end. But again, I think async is probably the best way for this stuff. So if you have like specific questions or ways that our team can help, I would just shoot us an email.
The same hackathon email, or
same
do
hackathon, yeah. Like if you ping the hackathon email, being like, "Hey, want to get your thoughts on this?" Like that's going to be the best way.
Right.
Yeah. To get in touch with our team there.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can also, mine is just Sean@anthropic.com, but the hackathon is going to get a much higher response rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
No problem, Carl. Yeah, I'm excited.
If you have any avenue, because like I don't know, the urge, something that really propelled me to talk to you was like, I don't know, in terms of propelling this forward, or at least just having a start, like a Kickstarter for me to become a founder. I just really want to connect with someone who already has experience. And are you based in SF?
I am. Yeah, are you?
I am like a few blocks away,
Okay.
right across IKEA.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just wanted to pull it. And I don't know how much capacity you have, like the whole capstone thing, because maybe that capstone thing, it might be this product that I've built or not, because I am serious with this one.
Yeah.
Is maybe that could even be the next billion. What were you like? It's very interesting to me, and this could evolve into a very long coffee chat, which I won't do now, but I really would be enthralled. Maybe you have blogs or stuff, but would love to learn what you were the best at the world at, how you convinced other people. Yeah. But for now, you ran out of burritos, we're hungry, you needed rest.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. I guess I'll just what was your email again?
Just Sean or LinkedIn also works. Just Sean Strong on there.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I mean, thanks for
Cool.
taking the time, Carl. Best of luck with the hackathon.
Thanks.
Congrats on winning the other one.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna be 8K prizes for kickstarting, but it's gonna be taxed. Oh, what the?
You're good.
Oh, can we take a quick selfie just for you can remember me?
Sure.
So I can like send you an email and you'll be like, oh, this is the guy who did that. All right, I'll read this book first before I approach you. Thank you so much again.
No problem, Carl.
It's been a very
Best of luck. Have fun with agents and prompt caching.
Thank you. And you have a good lunch.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead now. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, do you want me to just? No, you're welcome.
La joue cool,
Hello. I ran out of burritos.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, apparently. But that's what Kevin has done. I lived here for 11 years. Burrito is lighter. It is like the most important thing to know about somebody, what burrito is. There's like 8 other really good reasons. Also, you can't just like hot sauce every time. No, burritos are perfect. But
I think I'm annoyed. I think I'm annoyed how the person because I don't know what sauce is. And it's just additional carb. It's just additional
I like greasy burritos. They're good. Greasy. I don't like greasy. Oh yeah, yeah. This style of course.
Where are you based now?
User will experience
It's a little warmer there. So I could do DC for so we were going to DC. New York being trained and back here. This is one where you're telling me this and then but and that feel like an hour past Cuba, I guess.
So this is doing? This is for what?
I am gonna submit an assignment. Have you heard of thing called slides? I'm gonna flush it out later, but now I have to submit it. I'm almost done. It's appendix and just making sure they don't know it's the AI part. It's like 10%. But I really hard to just add next to the Anthropic. So like, lots of people were swarming, and I had to rip the office.
And then maybe we can provide like them.
It wasn't so. You got him to an office. So tell lunch. We're all fed. I was trying to see him surprised, but am I? I ran out of fucking burritos because of that. Yeah. But it's worth it, I guess. What do you talk to him about? Alternative path. So, I basically want to have a basically because he said
I don't know if prioritize.
Hey, second I want to pursue this with Snow Nose, and I'm going to have networking stuff, so also for capstone stuff, can I also ask some topic for the capstone stuff? So like the cold email, basically, where if you have time for resources, but not the capacity to do it now, so the publicly available data sets, what would you use there? Like, okay, there's a lot of like links in relationships.
I think we can
Relationships.
in the room
Don't start rumors now. I think I'm gonna go back to the rest for a bit after I submit though.
Like I think exactly
Organize it. How about you? What are you up to? What are you up to?
I'm gonna
Oh, it's really fun.
Anywhere I need to go.
meet somebody. They have where we fall, I can put that you want.
kind of like a dashboard.
Zoom? Oh, no, sorry. Overall, you put the...
I feel like you got something. I think the onboarding
Besides, what burger? Something what burger? The orange burger? Offside.
Okay. I was talking to the Coinabse team last night, and they're like, so after Denver, you guys want to go ski? And we can't.
There's another hackathon yesterday. It's very new to me. It's just like wearable something. Wearable It's a very back end where you basically get to track every function that was pushed. It's like a timeline thing. It's not for debug. But I've learned so much. I'm so happy we produced it.
I can barely do blue.
Do you want to use like the
Do you have a lead yet?
Yeah.
last year in Denver, I went to work.
What?
Thinking out.
I can ski. I have skied. Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where you want to pull tracks?
Yes, even need that stuff. I think I want to
That's great. How do you do that? Is it like, I can only imagine surface level applications.
So the best idea usually is to pick and choose and not try to do many, because a lot of people are track pricing, like hunters. So they'll try to do like 15 tracks, hoping to win small bounties. Which I've also done that too, but it's usually just better to pick like 2 or 3 that are very close to each other. And then like it's also very tempting because you see the other tracks and you're like, oh, but you're giving like 20K or 30K. Choose your battles.
That's true. I don't even have a track I chose yet. It was just really just my own thing. I see. The burritos though.
It's good.
I didn't get to eat one.
Oh, I didn't either.
This other dude I just talked to, he's doing like a agent. So if you see an issue, you can just
Sometimes I be in VA, I just leave all my stuff like this as well. I forget that it's not a stuff.
In VA?
Yeah.
In WeWork or?
No.
In the
Cafes,
coffee?
yeah.
That's so stupid, bro.
I know.
That's like so stupid.
But I never, I like so used to the WeWork culture, right? There's nothing there, but nothing happened.
You're very lucky. Duda's bag with iPad, laptop, and mobile got stolen, just like that. And she not even left it. She was next to her.
Oh, it's snatched. Anyway, I love VA.
You got lucky. You got lucky.
I've heard horror stories. But I was like,
so many people got robbed. But more people got robbed in London than VA, to be honest. London saw it too.
For real?
Yes, stabbing.
Oh, the pancake.
Do you want some of this?
Let's have one together. Never tried it.
Me neither. That's good.
want some of my fruits?
Not bad. God.
Tiny. Interesting flavor. It used to be super savory, but this one's a bit sweeter.
Yeah. You know the Trader Joe's turkey chip?
No, is it good?
That's weird, yeah. I thought it would be like that. I thought it would be like that.
What's the flavor profile like? It's more like
More savory, yeah.
I would put that one over rice.
Also way more chewy.
That's entertaining. Yeah, you could like chew more, extract more flavor, then put in more rice, and it'll be a cheap and first year me would just love that.
Oh yeah. First year we would just eat $4 something.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, this time like I took a Uber from the airport to the rest, and I was thinking that like if I did this in the first semester, this would be half the money I get in the city with.
That's very even hard. Like, you know, I came to Minerva with nothing about the city of Minerva, right? So that's why like the whole foreign exchange thing is closer dear to me, because my parents were like, we really want to send you money. Bonus track. At least like, you know, it's like, I don't know, $20, $30 just to get some food, like to kickstart, but then it was so expensive, man. It's like eat like 20% of $20.
Yeah.
Did you think about it? What happened? I was already working, so I stored some money, like only roughly like 1,000. That's it. And then the rest of them went to like, you know, my first set of the shit. Crazy. Things you gotta do. I'll get one for you first. Okay, thank you.
This guy is so serious. I think he's from sarcasm in person. What are you talking about? Yeah, we got 4 by our team. Yeah, that's just overall works on the board. So the whole thing is to get it so you can find us and you have to see it in the face. We got like the, yeah, we just like very just vectorized.
Yeah, no burritos. No burritos. Just these. They're not fruits even.
Yeah.
They were shirts. Hyperbolic. They weren't like publicly distributed, that's why I still
That's the way to go.
I'm gonna go back to the rest and like store everything because I brought so much cables, but this is amazing. It's like one cable for everything. Only one cable for everything.
Yeah.
Could have left my setup. How do you like my setup? It's like
How long did it take to learn that keyboard?
I am in the process. Oh my gosh, you are asking the right questions, man. In like polls, I'd be like, sorry for the. It takes so slow sometimes. Yeah, cause like I type only with like these.
When did you start like using it?
The start of semester, because I got it delivered. That was my birthday gift to myself.
Nice.
Oh, that's a Replit.
Oh, that's a Replit?
Yeah.
He's wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt.
Yeah, but like, did you ask?
No, I didn't. Maybe I should ask.
Yeah, but I think it's Telegram.
I texted him.
Mildly scary, but pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to dedicate myself to practices now. Like, I have to practice now.
Yeah.
What?
The split keyboard.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Thank you. We're just talking about it.
I built a Lily 58 or whatever, but I don't use it because I can't.
I'm new to the whole keyboard enthusiast community, so like I don't get those terms yet, but I will be soon.
Yeah, it's just like a standard layout that you can kind of just solder. Yeah. People sell the PCB and whatever, so
Is it open source?
I think so.
What was it?
Lily 58. I think it's 58 keys. I just make sure.
I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
Not the most common thing to talk about, but you can have some.
Sure, yeah.
Is it like a
Yes, yeah. So many people sell this.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it just
So,
a PCB?
so you can get all manner of like someone makes this for you, right? These are hot swappable and right?
And that's like a Arduino Nano or something.
Yeah, so those there's one on each side. One on each side. You can usually buy this yeah, and then one of them acts as the host. And then you can plug it into your main.
Same logic. I have the host, but this works wireless.
Yeah. People modded though to add that. Right? So like it's like you add another board onto it and it's wireless.
It's a commercial product now, though.
Yeah.
Like this brand. Discord community is really helpful.
Yeah, a lot of keyboarding is very like.
We can also test them off if you want.
I've also seen the ones that are like this.
Yeah,
Oh, I really. Oh man, those are the best.
You know when you're at a hackathon and someone's like with a screen and using that keyboard, you're cooked.
You're cooked. What do you call those like keyboards that lawyers use for transcription?
Oh, that'd be crazy then.
Yeah. Forget the big ones, you gotta call the.
Yeah. Like a piano. For keyboard?
For bit tensor. So latency, like responsible, maybe we're going
Are you using
yeah, there's some details there. We're not doing like a price track. So we offer completely. I guess we'll be able to find out something how much. Oh, that's good.
Anyone I always speak to about what is BitTens and do they
I'm doing a workshop at 5. Catch you.
I'm the first person asking you this probably. I know BitTens are awesome.
It's like a GPU network. So there's some hardware, but there's other things. It's abstracted to not just be like molecular hosting on the network, but inside your application. So that would actually innovation. Personal.
Sorry, can you guys actually like kind of interactive?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got me.
I think you guys were like, y'all kicked off the
I answered that desk.
sorry, analysis. He was the one who called me. I just learned of Deepin, yeah. It's like decentralized something infrastructure. Yeah, like some of the project is Deepin and the other part is okay. But like the models, those aren't physical. Are you Devrel with them? Yeah, I'm new software. So I work on the chain stuff and also work on some of the SD stuff. Is it chain as a customer chain or? It's US substrate.
Zero substrates only.
Yeah, substrate's so I run a Bitcoin startup like trading stuff on Bitcoin. Right now I'm gonna build like an yeah, just have 4 agents like Shark Tank, but like AI on chain. You did? No. Who was it? Someone said they have everyone really good. I think it's like a recent. I think there's a big difference. They said they have agents that talk to each other and they're bidding. It's kind of like Google's ad network. Yeah, there's VCs and do you know what Google's ad network is like? So they have a bunch of different like bots that are set up with like parameters of like how much you want to spend on ads, where you want to use ads, stuff like that. Are these no, these were before. Yeah, it's like 2000. I don't know what they do now so much, but they bid against each other automatically for ad space on the internet, right? And then Google runs those, and everybody has their own that they right. So they want to do the same thing, but they want to have like AI. And they want to do yeah, I'm trying to build like a personality, like a Shark Tank. Oh yeah.
Where basically, a few years ago, these things like bid on each Facebook user, for example, and whoever wins gets that match clause.
It's like that. That's cool doing that on chain. Yeah, exactly. It's like her agents, because it wasn't called that. Yeah, it's doing that on chain is awesome. Obviously, the value of product, right? What I'm making? Oh no, there's no value, of course. Yeah. Expected value has to be negative. Only then it's a good investment. It's not a gamble if you know it's going to go to zero. If it's a sure thing, then exactly. You know you're going to lose money. It's not really gambling. What do you work in?
I'll see how the UX goes. The way I'm thinking about right now is just onboarding staff. So we are working on that.
I love this screensaver on the left hand. That one. So many memes in it.
No. So here's what we are building.
Yeah, I don't really know what.
I have a girlfriend.
And someone asked me to buy it.
Oh, and then just message and pay.
Find a way to get
And if you want to just scan detection, you should base the DNS
money.
Like on DNS.
Hell yeah. So we're working on it well.
like I was with him.
Yeah. How long you guys been working on that?
Fishing links.
1 month?
1 month. So we have developed everything like the landing page, etc. And now we are here to present our product. Maybe inshallah.
Good shit, my guy.
Then we did a landing page for it. Oh, I have to finish my CS assignment though.
To make the animation, you mean?
No. What did you say you used the code for? What are you building it on? Oh, good shit.
Best shit.
It's simple shit. If I really want to be fancy, I'll do something like 3JS, like in React. It's 3D. It's 3D. You know 3JS?
3JS.
Yeah, 3JS. Yeah, it's if I want to be like fancy, I'll use 3JS and it's not just for games. It just creates a 3D environment.
Okay.
So you can go and do other things. So like on my website, agency, let me log out. So like I never tried. So you see how like I have all this background? You know how it's all responsive? That's all 3JS. Yeah, you can add.
For me, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I like. Personally, I really like promotion because it's simple. But I think that we failed the.
I mean, you can use framers still, like on it, like so that way if you like hover on it, it'll like do it. I'm just like adding it on top.
Yeah, on top of your background. Yeah. Very nice.
People really like 3D.
And also like the.
But yeah, the
like
animation, the zoom, the fade.
People really like that. So yeah.
Carousel. Oh, nice. When you hover, they give 2 images.
Yeah.
That's good. Interactive.
Easy money.
Easy money, man.
You know the video, easy money. Yeah, bro.
Let me know if I can help with anything else.
So this is in addition one of my friends building emission as well, but then he like traded the he's not here right now, but maybe when he's back at the
Yes.
I talked to one of the guy, tall, black water. Yeah.
Alarm 1:30 p.m.
Stuff that I'm gonna bring back and stuff.
By the way, when he told you.
Also, they're like, hey, is this a computer agent? Oh, yeah, shit, yes, I'm good. This is their. Yeah. Yeah, so the context we're going to say, so we have today, this week, so we have right now, like anyone can actually have no idea. Offers effectively we have that kind of line. This is effectively, so like Myriad is effectively Canadian. We're still working with some of the it's verifiable clouds. I think it's and then interagent protocol that really global commerce. Like, I actually think the global commerce, like I'm not talking about like our buying stuff, I'm talking about factories producing, getting stuff from like lines. That itself is how do we actually talk about it? We have a very clear where we feed the board, etc. Very fundamental as well as having other AI wrong.
Open my computer. Everything is there.
Do I know you? Oh.
Ah, YouTube. So, this is, oh, the web. So it's looking like that. And basically it's a landing page. And the app is just here. So we are live. Discuss with the AI. For example, this is Luna. So hey, ça va? Ça va être how are you? And she has the wallet. If you want to turn on like it takes just need to press on that. And we can also like create new companies. Like you can create one. And the goal behind that is like you send a message to them, pay a fees, it goes to the price pool. And when someone finds a way to take our money, take money, etc., the price goes to you.
So, like, what's the long-term use of this? Like, okay, someone comes on, you're chatting with somebody, you're chatting with your character and stuff, and then like you earn some money.
Yeah, the price pool. So when like every message that you send, you pay a small fee. The fee goes to the price pool, and the moment when someone finds a way to like create a real relationship with the AI, you win the prize pool.
What AI model are you using?
We are using GPT-4o.
Oh,
Why
okay.
GPT-4o? Because I've been doing that for more than 1 year, like AI roleplay platform. Because
Yeah.
I've already built an AI roleplay platform with over 200 other users. So I think that for the moment, GPT-4 is like one of the best roleplay model when you come on longer projects. Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good.
Very cool. I like it a lot.
And the project
What,
was the agent, using the agent kit, like because since every AI agent has their own wallet, like we need to use all of their to do the.
Yeah, that's who I was talking to. You're the person.
No, I'm not the person, but Ralph is the one.
Yeah.
I'm
I saw him message
I'm going
you.
to give him. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So nice to meet you. Good luck.
Thank you.
The system could obviously be hit by an API, but the agents themselves could be hit the same way. So you can just, platforms to make it open to everyone and then embed it in your app.
Actually, one of our apps has like 25 million paid actors. That's the Kai has 25 million. So that's why hot. And so that's kind of one channel. But also a lot of functionality that you don't even need to go to the app. You can schedule like your background tasks, remind you, rebalance, whatever, whatever, and it doesn't be $10, like all of this is now possible. Like we have OnChain trigger, or calls the AI agent to actually pull data from kind of decide on the new way to rebalance. We have all of this functionality now, so
Welcome back. Thank you. I was listening to the workshop for a bit. The game
Virtual
workshop.
one? Yeah. How was it?
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Is it like a game builder?
No, not at all. It's like an AI agent toolkit, just to make it like. Do you know Vercel has AI SDK?
What does it do?
Which it makes it easier to like spin up a ChatGPT connection and connect it to on-chain stuff.
So that's basically that. I see. Did you say Vercel AI SDK?
Yeah.
Damn.
Also, they make it really hard to look at the keys while you're typing.
Oh no, this is my personal thing. Looks cool on top,
Oh, you could have put it on top, the
Yeah,
stickers?
I could have. SDK. Ah, lame. I see. So it's like a LangChain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool that you use the keyboard.
Ergonomics. After like the free massage guy in VA, he really told me I have a CS body. So it's like I'm like
massage like Cigna.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to raise it like that. I have to make it arm level and all that jazz. I have to use a vertical mouse.
Nice.
And the good thing is I can have lunch in the middle, you know. Or I can have my cat.
I might head out though.
Soon? I'm gonna leave by 2:30 actually.
Yeah, where are you gonna go? Oh, that's it. Do you have an iPhone charger by any chance?
USB-C?
No.
Thunderbolt? No. Just USB-C for me, sorry.
Thunderbolt charger.
Yeah, I've been Team Pixel since.
Oh, you have a Pixel?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just doing the appendix now. Screen is too large for me. I have to study how to make use of curved screens.
Oh.
So excited to go back to the rest. I got myself a new laptop.
Nice, which
It's
one?
it's not necessarily a maxed out one, but it's near maxed out. It's the ROG Strix, so I can just like. I've been denying myself game time, so now it's like.
Oh, now you have 2 laptops. That's awesome.
One for gaming, one for work. That's how it was intended to be. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna stay in my room for a long time now.
I'm curious on that one. Yeah, I might kind of.
Sorry, do you have an iPhone charger by any chance? The old one, the Lightning, not the USB-C. That would really appreciate it. I would not know. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I can even plug it into your side too.
Go all the way through and exit through and go to the next one.
Alright, thanks. Appreciate it. If I send my
Is the Google AI Studio is working fine?
What?
The Google AI Studio is good?
Yeah, I love it.
Never tried.
It's my favorite actually.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm submitting an assignment for school and then I'm gonna. That's why I'm like kind of.
Okay. Which school? Yeah.
Minerva.
Nice.
I
know.
Oh, cool. So I don't need to explain. Thank goodness.
I knew Minerva, but I come from France. Because I've tried to apply it on Minerva.
Oh, cool.
Didn't take me.
What? Why not? Well, now you're here with Minerva.
I'm an international student, I think that they don't take everyone.
Oh, no, tell me about it. It's very tight, but I'm the only Filipino. I come from the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm also like from around the world, so it's nice. I really wanted to visit France, right? You said France?
France, yeah.
Yeah, because in January, we went to Berlin. So like I've been through everywhere. I didn't have the money, so I could have just like I stuck with the U-Bahn, with the trains around Germany.
Now I'm just a dropout student.
Oh, but you're doing cool shit, right? That's what we love to see. Because they don't teach us crypto in school.
Sorry?
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah. So that's why we're just like, right now the assignments is a robotics one, so it's like a micro mouse simulation, maze solvers and all that.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm just gonna submit this to my prof, and then I'm good.
I hope that it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's deadline's in 4 hours, but better finish it now.
Go, bro.
Good luck. Thank you.
Oh.
That was like a internet workshop.
By the way, if anyone needs help with anything in relation to your also have to prepare.
Like want to work on this instead of your talk. You want to work on actually sort of your talk.
I wouldn't. My talk is code. But one thing, linear AI, you're giving away free inference forever. No matter what you do.
We're looking for
Yeah, I mean, also we have some really good prizes. Yeah, and some prizes are like genuinely like, we just want, what is it? It's actions in LangChain, it's like tools in Agent Kit. Like, people just build good tools with, we have something called intents, which means you can just swap back and forth between chains willy-nilly. It's kind of stupid in a good way, you know what I mean? So, like, if anyone just builds tools, you can have a prize for that. Just reusable components for other developers. Shocking. Hackathon? Reusable code? Who would want to do that? You're supposed to throw away your code at the end of it and have upset stomach because of the burritos. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yes, through intents. Yes. Let me send you code.
That works.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the fastest way to do this is literally DMing you sample code. Sound good? Can you send me a telegram at? Nah, it's not gonna take that long. At Jay Zalowitz, Jay. Yeah. JAYZALOWITZ. So you're gonna have to create your own asset map. That shouldn't be hard. Just Google it.
I don't like a Bitcoin tax aggregator.
Sorry, my brain's on like 10%. We like rushed to get everything shipped for this. There you go.
Thank you. And does this have like Bitcoin related examples too?
Those are further online, but they're very easy to find. Obviously, because it's Bitcoin. But yeah, it works for Bitcoin. 100% works for Bitcoin. 100% works for Bitcoin. You can swap between Doge and Bitcoin without even thinking about it. You can swap between Trump coin and Bitcoin through intents. So it's basically your it's not an AMM. It's more like a open order book in terms of like an equity transaction. It's like an L2 book, and then there are solvers that we have active solvers. We need more, but they're going to centralized exchanges in addition to AMMs. So it's basically a union of every single batch of liquidity you could possibly imagine, swapping natively on chain.
So is anyone doing BDC or WBDC or something?
We have BDC. We
No, but I mean, like, if I'm giving you BDC, I'm gonna get WBDC when I give it. And I'm also going to have like I don't understand.
One second.
Wait, do you know, like, for your intents, is it just like some cross contract? Like,
I think so. I think it's just like a.
I was like,
yeah, I think it's just like a layer that can speak to both. That's what I think.
okay. So it's like some other middleware layer that you're setting your like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, so it's like some solver node or something.
Yeah, it is exactly that. Yeah, you were just explaining that. They call it, these days they call them intent-based swaps, and then you have a solver that can do something. Okay.
So you tell this solver network that you want to send your USDC?
Yeah, basically. And then they'll claim the USDC and the USDC.
Cameron can help you. I got it. Cameron. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to hear this one.
Cool. To be honest, I don't work on intents. But it's essentially like a matching engine for these solvers. ones that like. Yeah, there's like the solvers, currently there's like only one solver that allows it's the EVM here. In shorts, you're able to swap anything right from
How liquid are the solvers?
Depends. Yeah,
I don't think yeah, but like just like BDC to WBDC, like I could use like Tor.
They do 10 million. Would you say 10 million? Go to your.org.
What are the use cases of
It's a lot of swaps. Yeah, I'll be right back. I want to get your questions answered, and I want to learn them with myself. So I'll be right back.
Wait. Because I don't see the actual like explicitly written instructions.
The other guy has some reference codes.
Kind of ran away from it.
Yeah, he's like, let me get the other guy.
Okay, because I wonder if they're like inflating.
I think they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how much logic you can execute.
Okay. Actually works. I'm on the AI side right now. The goal is to like have everything merge, but it's a little fragmented right now. The goal is like all agents to be able to interact across the chains easily. Intent is primarily just for like swaps. There's a much more compelling thing that we'll know more about chain signatures. What that is, it's a programmable NPC network that you're actually able to manage accounts on the chains. That's not just swaps. So you're able to like literally collateralize with Bitcoin wallets with your accounts. Like that's a lot of things.
I was asking you about that because I wanted to understand what you guys were
I've been doing it.
because I wanted to like someone did this with BDC Bitcoin where they build like on Bitcoin. So basically you deposit into like an ICP subnet and then
That's crazy.
everyone I told this to had the same reaction, but actually it's working pretty well. Like that has a lot of traction. Like, yeah. So I was surprised. But, basically, I want to see like we're trying to do something similar. It's like Bitcoin, I'm trying to choose the right stuff.
Yes. There's a few teams. Infinite. They're doing synthetics. So the guy who's building synthetics, he's trying to do like a cross-chain swap. And that leverages engines of interest. Kendall literally runs that account, like runs like chain signatures and intents. So like he's doing all that. If he changes like chain insurance.
So we could do something like
Yeah. Like from my understanding, there's a caveat. Signing is hard. It's a programmable MPC network, so anytime you have MPC, the more signers you have, the slower it gets. And so there's about to be some very large upgrade like next week that makes signing like 300x faster, which is great. And you're able to. I want to get these answers too. I'll tell you. Look at the drink.
Oh yeah.
So it's mainly focused on the ability of scientists. Yeah, remember your account was you can call a specific function. You're like a cheesy it's a sign function. You pass it any arbitrary data, and then like a derivation. You basically take your account, the derivation path, and then sort of like reverse the key of the MPC network. Each of which is like basically this information after the key. So it's next to the bar. And then like using that key, basically receive load back. So that can be literally super size. Well,
So it depends on the use case as to like what the best process it is. Like it's designed to be so like first thing is we have people building wallets and like it's literally like using US, you know, it's just like I want like sign transactions on Bitcoin and you're gonna go like and then we have other teams who are using it for so we have a team building Bitcoin using this where like they actually have wallets logic in their smart contract that's actually creating the Bitcoin transaction, serializing it, signing it, and then someone will send it. So it very much depends on the use case. Yeah, sorry. You were asking about near intents, right? Yes. Okay, so we actually have something much simpler reference code.
So we have like this is just the file. Basically, so like our so that's one use case, but it's
on the side
No, near intense is uses chain signatures.
This is like cooperating on market activization.
Yeah, so it's that makes more sense. So we have Python yeah, that's fine. A little bit, I mean, it'll show you exactly how to do it, but they're like results stuff right there. This is really like just, it's like some Hackathon code kind of, but it will. Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, I mean, there's two things. Like, one, like, incentivize
and then, I don't know, like, okay, so you're saying like the reference code follow that as like an
I mean, I feel like we've all been spread out maybe. Like, because this is where we were a couple hours. So maybe it's good to just scale it. Right. So maybe as I go through, I can stop and tell me yeah. All right. Okay, so mission that we're going to
very aligned. So, yeah, so intense like small layer intense basically is yeah, it's basically mapping a bunch of different chains together and then letting solver essentially so right now I know they're WBTC supported, but it's usually like I want to a bunch of Ethereum assets, which is a lot of the main thing So you could, what you could do, I think we also just work like USDC. Theoretically, you could swap from BTC to USDC or ETH and swap that for difference. You pay, I know you pay a little bit of extra fees, so it's not ideal. I'm also pushing for that. The main thing is like, we just finished audits on it, so we haven't injected like that much liquidity into it. Right now, it's technically like single servers, so more solvers spinning up the next 3 weeks. It's like, so that's why. Believe me, it's on my brain. So like, CBBTC is WBTC, and then yeah, we'll look at like we'll probably just rate it based on that guy. Yeah, TVL and also like general.
Well, it's kind of funny because that was the, it's like, hey, this would have been a scam. So it's like, hey, actually, here's the website. That was the idea. So it's like, yeah, you're right, you should never click like, for the people who probably need this, that actually are clicking.
Yeah, exactly. So like, to be honest, it's more, yeah, it's more driven by, well, yeah, so I'd say like, well, how much wine did you eat? Yeah, okay. What size swaps?
It would be pretty
like at a given time. Let's say like I got
like if I wrote it, I kind of wrote it back in the day. We were talking about just like things that like if someone helped me, like someone helped me, someone's in your
so what we're
like hey, I'm
basically and just
like hey, we gotta but go to
anyway, tomorrow we're gonna inject like $1 million single swaps.
Okay,
Initially
so we're probably
we're not charging fees currently. Yeah, teaser rates. So what we're actually going to do it is
so command center, some kind of website, maybe exploit-based token. So I'm not going to do this now. Okay, so this whole thing is like, okay, so we're on, maybe this is how we can kind of combine it in future lights. We still try to do policy shift. I'm looking at this right now. So like, if we thought about how we want to onboard this product, like the share, basically the share link, and then just kind of this.
Yeah, they're good. Products are nice. We have a few videos. We have this